But no, I did go back and watch this last one. But yeah, that's that's a really big deal. The
Yeah,
whole Greek and Hebrew thing, man. I mean, it is a good little study help or tool, but
sure.
man, people use it all the time to change the words that are actually in the King James. Say, well, this actually means
Yes,
this because the Greek says this. Well,
right.
nah, it would say that if that's what it said.
Right. Well, it's like so many guys. I didn't even go. So on that episode, obviously, I talked about the Leviathan thing, and really, okay, it's like this. Certain guys have been hated on in the past for saying, and I would never say it like this because I think it's not a true accurate. It's not an accurate way of stating how perfect our Bible is. I think it's he said it for the purpose of exaggeration, but like Ruckman would always say that he talk about the advanced revelation of the King James Bible. And what
Yeah,
he was getting at is that essentially what his critics were hated on, or and other guys have said that kind of thing. But people that hate on that, what they can't stand is they're saying that, or they believe that they're saying that the previous Bibles were lesser than. Okay, now, what those guys, what he meant by that, or what other guys that maybe have said that meant by advanced revelation of the King James Bible, is actually just that there are things, and this is what you got to get to. Like, if someone can't acknowledge this, then they again they're struggling with where their final authority actually is. But if you can't get to the place where you realize there are some things that if you don't compare your English Bible with your English Bible, like scripture with scripture, that you actually can't arrive at the same truth just by looking at the Greek and Hebrew. Like, and that was my whole point of like going to the Leviathan thing.
yeah,
Like, if you just study Greek and Hebrew, you're never going to find out that Leviathan is Satan. You're not going to
yeah,
find it out. Now, so you can call it whatever you want. I'm not going to certainly ever say advanced revelation of the King James Bible, only because people just get weirded out, and that kind of thing. And I think it's misunderstood what that even means. But at the end of the day, that's why there's times the Greek and the English are going to seem to not always see eye to eye, and you got to figure out, like, what do you do about that? Are
yeah,
you going to go with And it's not a lot of places, but that was kind of what I was getting at is if you can't, because I've seen people. Okay, the Leviathan thing is one thing. I mentioned Phoebe in Romans 16. Some of the other versions, even so the NIV called her a deacon, which she didn't qualify for that. Obviously, she was a servant, but she didn't qualify to be a deacon. She's a woman. But other versions, I think, will even call her a deaconess. And like, okay, there's some denominations that believe in deaconesses.
yeah,
Okay. Well, it's because their Bible, it lays that out. And maybe even the Greek text lays that out. Okay.
yeah,
But the problem is that doesn't line up with the rest of scripture. And so it's like, I just get so annoyed. So you obviously got guys that are TR guys, and they're proud of that. They're like, obviously, let's take the critical text guys and put them in another box. Like, they're not going to agree. We're not going to agree with anything. Like, they believe the King James Bible is not perfect, and that we're crazy for thinking it is. And then on top of that, they think the TR is a lesser than manuscript than the critical text and Alexandrian text and all that. But if we just take the more conservative guys, that's what we're really talking about. The more conservative guys that would say, "Oh, I'm a TR man." Like, in other words, the Textus Receptus is perfect. But they'll even use phrases like Schofield would say this. I don't know if he was necessarily a TR guy, but Schofield would say that the King James Bible is reliable. Well,
yeah.
like, that's good. That's better than not reliable, I guess. But reliable and perfect are not the same.
Right.
Like,